And our first story, the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Ebenezer Apiadintra, is asking medical staff of the Ridge Hospital to remain calm as the service examines their petition regarding the appointment of a new medical director for the facility. Some senior staff have rejected the appointment of Thomas Anaba on the basis that selection processes weren't followed through. And so they've indicated they would not cooperate with him if he's installed as a new executive. And Dr. Apiadintra spoke with Joy News after a meeting with the Ghana Health Service Council on worker agitation at both the Rich and Kolbu teaching hospitals.
The crunch meeting by the Ghana Health Service follows the current impasse between staff and management at the two major health facilities here in Accra. Some senior staff of Kolebu are demanding the removal of their chief executive, Dr. Gilbert Buckle, for what they say is poor performance. They also petitioned the Health Ministry over the matter. The Ridge Hospital staff also petitioned the Ghana Health Service Council to review the appointment of the new medical director, Dr. Thomas Anaba. The aggrieved staff, who have posted notice of resistance at vantage post of the hospital, are citing breach in the selection process. Director General of the Ghana Health Service, who has been in meetings with the council to address the matter, says a committee will be set up to look into the matter.
Yes, we've seen the letter. I've just holding it in my hand here, and it's addressed to the council chair. So we're going to give to the council chair. He will likely to constitute a team to look at the petition and then meet the team. But meanwhile, we expect them to continue doing their normal work because the processes have been, the process that they've gone through, the usual process that normally is taken anytime somebody is supposed to be appointed.
Yes. I know you haven't gone through the details of the report, but I'm sure you may have cited some of the reasons that they were raising as from the hospital.
Oh, the reason is, one I've just seen is that there's somebody who has been working in the hospital for long, and then the opinion is that that person should be the one. Actually, that's the one I'm holding. The person wrote that he thought that he should be the person to be the leader and not somebody who has come from elsewhere. But it's an interview, so we're just going to look, which is open. And it's raising some issues concerning the procedure of the interview. So now we have to get a team to look at it and see the concerns that have been raised, whether they are factual or maybe just perceived. Certainly, anytime there's any issue, we expect staff to communicate to us just like they've done. And sometimes they could even have added somebody to come and then maybe brief us. But we don't expect them to go on riot or maybe display certain things because that's not the way of the civil service. Exactly, it's not the way of the civil service or the public service. So I think we want to assure them that we'll take care of the petitions and then work on it. So we'll give it to the council chairman and then he will then probably constitute the team to look at it.
Meanwhile, Joy News has learned that the senior staff of the Ridge Hospital have also petitioned the president over the matter.
Transport fares may change today following the 27% increment in petroleum prices. Ahead of the imminent increases, Lord Eduasari has been speaking with some drivers and passengers about the transport fares.
I think we have make our mind that even if they won't increase itself, we are going to increase it tomorrow. And we have to make it. Now we are taking, let's say, from here to Osu is 230. So we make our mind that at the point of the day, we are going to add 20% to it to become 250.
But what if after the meeting they decide that the fares should still be retained without any increase?
Oh, I don't think they will say so. And if it comes so, we have to take our mind. We make our minds so big.
Okay. Now, let's say that it has been increased. How do you think it will affect your business? Do you think the patronage will be the same? Will people still be taking the taxis like normal?
Well, it depends the place that we are going. You see, maybe sometimes we used to get dropping. So if you are going far away from this place, we know how to charge. But the law fare there, we have compulsory the real charge of it.
So, they can complain. They will complain. But yes, as soon as we increase it, there's nothing to change the knowledge. Until the time they will bring the real fee. That's the way.
So you are not worried that it will affect your business?
No. If I buy my petrol, the person came, my car was parked, I haven't spoiled my fuel. So I'll wait till the time the car should be full out. Or I get a drop in and I find my way. When I charge you, you accept it, I will take you along. If you don't accept it, my car is there. That's all.
The old fare, we are collecting the old fare.
Okay, so it means that nothing has changed. How much were you charging previously?
Okay, now from here to Afla, we collect 20 Ghana.
20 Ghana.
And then Akachi, we collect 150.
And as at 5 p.m., you haven't changed it?
No, we didn't change anything. Okay. So now we are waiting. They say they will change it for us. So we are waiting for them. If information comes, and then we know how to take our course.
The layman cannot afford it. You know, the ordinary people cannot afford it. It's only those who have traveled and those who are doing a lot of business that will be able to afford it. Okay. So it looks like people are suffering, really, really suffering. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you're saying that people are suffering, but from tomorrow, there's a likelihood that it will be increased again because fuel prices are up. Now, looking at that, would you still be taking taxis?
No. Even when I arrived, I've not been taking taxis. I've been trying to take the trotro because that's what I can afford. You know, because if you concentrate on the taxi, if you don't take care, whatever you are coming to do in the country, you can't do it because you spend all your money on taxis. You know, so yeah, so no, unless wherever I'm going, the trotro is not able to get there, then I'll, you know, try to take a taxi. But if trotro is able to get there, I'm going to take trotro.
Well, we'll bring you a lot more commentary and discussion on this very subject of the increment in petroleum prices and its ripple effect on the commercial transport sector. Well, we have to turn attention to crime because the police in the Bonafo region, they rescued a 3-year-old girl who was kidnapped in an attack on a radio station at Nkranza. A mob of angry customers had besieged the radio station to demand their deposits lodged with Jasta Motors, an investment, a microfinance company in the region. The mob is said to have vented their frustrations on the radio station said to belong to the same group of companies holding their deposits and had also threatened to kill staff of the station. The police eventually had to shut down operations of the radio station. Joint News Editor Jifa Bampo has been speaking to ASP Christopher Teria of the Bonafo Regional Police Command for some details of the kidnapping of the 3-year-old girl whose father works for the radio station.
It was around yesterday, 3 p.m. at Nkranza, where one Daddy Brown of Jefferson FM came to the police station and reported that his 3-year-old daughter, Prince Asankwani, had been kidnapped by unknown assailant. And the assailant called him on phone and demanded that he has invested in the Jasta Motor and that he, Daddy Brown, was so much involved in the Jasta Motor and that his daughter is with him and he needs to pay some huge sum of her money to enable him to release him.
ASP, did the gentleman say how much money he was demanding?
He said he was demanding a very large sum of money. The quantity he didn't tell. So a little of the money was gotten and it was sent to a lady whose name was mentioned. And when the money was sent, then he called back and told the lady the money is too small and he should refuse. So when police had this information, we quickly organized, map up a strategy with some stage operation to enable us get him. So yesterday, for instance, he once again went to the FM station, Johnson FM station, to remove the fuse of the electricity so that the whole place will be blackout. And then a complaint was lodged to police. But we still map up our strategy. And fortunately, as I speak to you, we have arrested him and retrieved the girl charge. So we are at the police station and are waiting to be prepared for court tomorrow.
Is the police providing security for the radio station, which I understand remains closed?
Oh, when the police went in swiftly to intervene by arresting the person who had gone. He's by name Repoku, and he's the same person who kidnapped that 3-year-old girl. So when he was arrested, I think the area is calm. There hasn't been any threat of, vandalization or anything.
Well, so giving us details there is the police PRO for the Bonafo Region Police Command. But we do again also apologize for the poor quality of those sound interceptions we're getting in that very recording. But early on, we'll also bring you a story about how there have been increments on petroleum prices, as well as those products we have on the markets. And these could also have some resultant effect on other sectors as well. And already, the new Patriotic Party has asked Ghanaians to reject the hardship being inflicted on them by the introduction of a new tax by government. And speaking in an interview with Joy News following the passage of the Energy Levy Bill, the Director of Communication of the MPP described the move as deliberate and also intended by government to punish Ghanaians for expressing their displeasure with the bad governance of the ruling NDC.
This is about the people of Ghana and their welfare. It's not about MPP, it's not about NDC. So I'm calling on the people of Ghana to rise against this. Now, you talk of minority in parliament. You know how parliament works. It's the majority to have their way. So they come and they say, after the debate, they say, those in favor say aye. So they say aye. Those not in favor say no. No. The ayes have it. And that's the end of the matter. Put the taxes on the things that the rich people consume. Whiskey, cigarettes, cognac, V8. Put the taxes there. You go and put tax on water. 60% tariff increase, water. And you see, the petrol one, what makes it more annoying and full of impunity is that all over the world, prices of petrol are being reduced. Even in the very rich countries in Europe, prices of petrol are being reduced because the price of oil has fallen to about $35, the lowest in a long time. And you know, there are two main things that determine the price of petrol in Ghana. The first one is the price of oil on the international market, whether the oil is $40, $50, $60. You can't do anything about it. The second one is the price of the dollar in Ghana. So in Ghana, in the last 2-3 months, the price of the dollar has been stable. It's been about 3 cedis 80 pesos to the dollar. In the last at least 2 months, it's been stable. On the international market, last year by this time, the oil was selling at about $100 a barrel. Today, as we speak, it's about $35 a barrel. So the price of the oil is coming down, and the price of this dollar is stable. So all over the world, the price of petrol is going down. Only in Ghana. Now, if you are the government, the price of oil has come down. By now, by what they call the automatic adjustment formula, petrol should be selling at about $8 or 9 cedis a gallon. From 12, should be selling at about 8 or 9 cedis because of the fall in the price of oil. Now, you don't reduce it. You don't even maintain it at 12 cedis. You have rather increased it to 15 cedis. When the price of oil has come down, everybody is expecting a relief. They don't give the relief. They rather increase it. You see, so it is clear case of impunity. Look at the hardships that is going to be visited on Ghanaians.
Oh, that's Nana Akomia. He's the Director of Communications for the MPP. Well, meanwhile, a decision by the Electoral Commission not to compile a new voters register has not gone down well with various political parties that proposed that the current electoral register was bloated. The New Patriotic Party, for example, which was the chief proponent, has blamed President John Dramani Mahama for the Electoral Commission's decision not to compile a new voters register. Reacting to the EC's response to the party's call for a new voters register, Nana Akomia also questioned the neutrality of the Electoral Commission chairperson. He, however, explains the New Patriotic Party will soon state its official position on the response of the Electoral Commission.
The Director of Communication for the NPP, Nana Akomia, expressed his disappointment at the decision taken by the Electoral Commission and blamed President John Mahama for the decision not to compile a new voters register.
The one who is most at fault is President Mahama. Because you see, yes, it's in the Constitution that you, the player, the president, you appoint the Electoral Commission. But you see, you want to be a statesman. You want to show that you are really committed to fair play. So even the Constitution says that you should appoint a referee. Because you want to ensure there's fair play, you would consult the other players. That, look, even though I have the authority to appoint a referee, I want to appoint somebody that all of us can trust. So I want you people to also give an input into the nominees that I have in mind. So that the person who emerges is somebody that everybody is comfortable with. That's what President Mahama should have done. But then he went ahead and said, this thing gives me the chance to appoint a referee. I'm going to go ahead and do it. It favors me, and he went ahead and did it. You see? So right from the beginning, you inbuilt problems.
According to him, the party is meeting on the EC's response and will react appropriately.
Members of the party's electoral committee will be meeting shortly. And then after that, the party will give a considered response to the Electoral Commission's decision.
The NPP and some civil society groups had advocated for a new electoral roll, saying the current one is flawed and bloated with names of foreigners and minors. But the Electoral Commission has rejected their request and has opted for the cleansing of the register. Emmanuel for Joy News, Accra.
Meanwhile, the Convention People's Party, which had also asked that a new roll be compiled, says it is disappointed by the decision of the Electoral Commission to maintain the existing electoral roll for the 2016 general elections. The party, however, insists it will do all it can to ensure the current register is properly sanitized before this year's presidential and parliamentary elections. Niama Kumfra is General Secretary of the Convention People's Party.
Well, I think that our position was for a new voters register based on information that we had. Our stronghold, our main parliamentary constituency, was bloated by 11,000 votes, 11,000 people on the register. We know that those people there are fraudulently on the register, and we were calling for a new register. Now, if we haven't got that, of course it's disappointing because we know that the names are there. We know that those names are still on the register.
But the EC, the Electoral Commission says it's going to clean it up.
Yes, well, as I've said, we will do everything we can. It must be a transparent process to seek to, one way or another, one by one, every constituency that's affected needs to be sanitized. But is the sanitization enough? Because there may be many other constituencies that we've missed. We were very disappointed because we were calling for a new register because we think that is the thing that the whole country will welcome. I don't believe that the country is happy with this decision. We don't believe that the country is happy. We don't believe that the citizens are happy. Indeed, government should be open and transparent and want to go for a register which satisfies the whole nation. If they haven't gone for it, it's almost a halfway house. And is that something that the country is going to be happy with? We will play along. We will certainly ensure that every constituency that we think that they are concerned, one by one, should be tackled. And indeed, the recommendation is not that the recommendation is saying that because there's no new register, the concern should not be addressed. It is still saying that minors should be removed from the register. Aliens should be removed from the register. Of course, the deceased people should be removed from the register. But how is all of that going to be done? How is it all going to be done? And, well, it's calling for a transparent process with the political parties. We will have to see how that goes about. I mean, because we believe a new register would have been the best way to tackle.
Meanwhile, lawyer for the PNC's Abu Ramadan, Nana Asante Bedietu, says they will continue their case in court to compel the Electoral Commission to compile a new voters register. Speaking to Joy News, Nana Asante Bedietu explained their case in court has a lot more to do with people registering with the National Health Insurance cards, which according to him was illegal at the time.
The NPP has not been able to show that these Togolese people did not qualify under our laws to register, and therefore removing them would be discriminatory and arbitrary because you've got to give them an opportunity to be heard. In the second case, the Supreme Court has said that the use of the NHIA card is unconstitutional. It was unconstitutional when the people purported to use the card to register. So that registration is null and void ab initio. From the very beginning, it is null and void. Now, if you are a person who used the NHIA card to register, then your registration is null and void. It's a very different matter from the issue of the EC saying that the Togolese people who are alleged to be Togolese and had registered were not entitled to register. What is the basis of their not being entitled? Is it because they're not Ghanaians? Are they Ghanaians and Togolese as well? Blah blah blah. So, well, Jifa, let's cast our minds back. Every time in this country that we've had to do a new register, it's been a 3-week exercise. 3 weeks. Professor Jega was here from Nigeria. He was here, a couple of weeks ago. And he also said that in revising their register to make it credible, it took him 3 weeks or so. I don't think that, and they have a much bigger population, 78 million or so voters, or 68 million or something like that. And the same experience in Kenya, it took them 21 days to put up a new register. There's so many examples. I don't think time is the issue. I think we should be concerned about having a credible, accurate register of Ghanaians, people who qualify to vote, not of foreigners, not of minors, not of people who do not qualify. That is what we should be concerned about, so that we have a process that we can all say has integrity. We cannot appeal to time and money to then say that it's okay, we should do it anyhow, because that breeds a lot of contempt for the process, and there'll be a lot of problems in the future, which I don't even want to contemplate.
Nana Asante Bedietu is a legal practitioner. Well, that'll be it of the news for the morning. As always, please make sure you get interactive. On Facebook, we have Joy News on TV. It has a link on our Twitter handle, like Joy News on TV, and also a WhatsApp number we have for our platform on WhatsApp. 0560 800,000 is a number. Many of you sending a lot more of those messages. So we'll be relaying a lot more of them to you in the course of the few minutes that we're going to have before we start a look at the various newspaper headlines, and that will be after this very break. Because you know, as always, for this very week, I'll be joined by Gladys Oredo, and we'll be looking at foremostly myjoyonline.com. We'll also look at other news portals we have in our country and elsewhere across the continent. And so do stay on. We'll be right back.